All right, sup guys, welcome back to the channel, Too Easy Sports Betting. I'm Trice Too Easy, guys. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. You've been here, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment. It helps me and my channel a lot. And lastly, if you'd like to join my sports betting community and Discord server, it'll be in the pinned comment and in the description of the video. Come join, $5 measly ass dollars, be a part of something great. Come talk about these sports and come share your slips. All right, so we'll review yesterday, get into the player props, then we'll go over the slate. I'll show you guys my final plays and get y'all out of here with an absolute bag. We're gonna crack these folks. Yesterday was another good day, so I'm off a 7-0 Super Bowl day. Then yesterday I go 4-2. Dyson Daniels almost cashed us. He had a rough game. He did not do well. I was actually surprised. I'm surprised that they ended up winning with how bad Dyson played. I mean, he got like 20, but it just wasn't his usual. But yeah, he doesn't end up going over to 23.5. Donovan Mitchell and Chris Paul, these guys end up with like 10. These were great reads. They ended up with like 10 and 8 assists. Should have laddered them up a bit, but I'm happy to take the straight wins. Heat plus 6.5. I really thought it was a good spot. Celtics are just too good. I really thought it was a good spot for them, but the Celtics just got them. Kings money line cashed that in overtime. They should have won. They shouldn't even been that close, but they end up winning in overtime. And then Mr. Consistent Walker Kessler. I don't know how you don't bet him every night. Can we say that he's a top 3 center in the league at this point? No one talks about him. No one mentions him. He's young, rookie. I get it. He's on the Jazz, the worst team, so he doesn't get talked about. This dude is on the worst team in the league, putting up 20 to 25 PRA a game as a center with extreme effort and consistency. I love him, man. Like, he's a great player. If you watch it, like, goddamn, even when it's not looking good, he still somehow finds a way to get in there and make something shake. He somehow finds a way to cover it. Like, he didn't do shit the first half. Came out there and just kept with the effort and made it happen. So, anyways, 4 wins, 2 losses. Great night. Couple units. We take those. Check, please. All right, let's get into the props. Guys, this is Outlier. This is links in the description of my video. 7 days free. You have to learn this product. Use it, live it, eat it, breathe it. If you want to be successful sports betting, you have to use Outlier. Okay? Anyways, first play I'm on, guys. First game of the night. Raptors and the Phillies. I'm on Grady Dick under 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So 52% hit rate on the season. Fine. But last 20, 75% hit rate. Last 10, 60. Last 5, 40. This is due to the injuries. However, tonight they're versus the 76ers. The 76ers are pretty solid versus the guard. In a head-to-head history, that is very ugly for him. 19-1, 0, 14, and 9. He just saw him and got 9. So I just think that tonight is a rough night for the Raptors in general. They are riddled with injuries. Grady Dick should be covered quite hard. Scotty Barnes should be covered quite hard. I don't know how the Raptors are able to do much of anything tonight. Because of that, I got to be on the Grady Dick. I'm on the under 19.5. I just don't see it. And I think the sports books agree. I mean, they got this at minus 140. So I'm definitely on Grady Dick's under. Next, same game, Scotty Barnes under 35.5 PRA. This one, he's got a 63% hit rate on the year for the under, 70% in the last 20, 80% in the last 10, 100% in the last 5. He's been struggling, guys, mainly because of these injuries. If the whole team's injured, the only person you got to stop is Scotty Barnes. So head to head, he does have a history of doing well versus the 76ers. I do want to say that. And the 76ers defense, not great. Fair enough. But all they have to do is stop Scotty Barnes. Their only job tonight is stop Scotty Barnes. Put a little attention on Grady Dick, but he's not great anyways. Just stop Scotty. He's the only fucking player healthy. Their whole 3 of their 5 starters are going to be out for injury. So I like Scotty Barnes under 35.5. I think it just makes sense. And especially with how he's been playing lately, struggling anyway. So I get that he's done well versus him in the past, but going off how he's been playing and then on top of the injuries, the line is right there at 35. I think it takes it down a few. I don't see him getting it tonight. Next prop I'm on, guys. Malik Beasley over 16.5 points, 60% hit rate on the season. Last 20, 70%. Last 10, 80%. Last 5, 80%. He's continuing to shoot the ball very well. Today's versus the Bulls, one of the worst defenses in the league. I mean, they're really not great versus anybody. Head to head, he saw him twice recently. Just saw him February 2nd, 19. Saw him November 18th, 24. So his last 2 games this season when he saw him, he's done great versus him. No reason to not take Malik Beasley tonight to go crazy and ball. I'm on this over 16.5. It's too low. I like to play a lot. That's where I got to be. Next guy, same game. Jalen Duran over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Guys, underdogs favoring this up to minus 155. Bet365 has a minus 145. The books agree that he's going to go over this pretty easily. Now, over on the season is only 34%, so that's scary. However, at the beginning of the season, they weren't really incorporating Jalen Duran into the offense, and they weren't winning games. Recently, the Pistons are winning a lot of games. Their record's back to even. They're playing great basketball. They're a competitor versus anybody. Why is that? Because they started incorporating Jalen Duran. Last 20, 50% hit rate. Last 10, 70% hit rate. Last 5, 80% hit rate. So when he gets involved in the game, they're winning games. On top of that, head-to-head history versus the Bulls, my God. 43, 29, 34, 40, and 38. Last 2 times he saw him this season, 40 and 38. He pops off. They're awful versus the center. My favorite play of the night, Jalen Duran over 27.5 PRA. Next, this is probably tied for my top favorite play. Is Kevin Durant over 5.5 boards. BetMGM and FanDuel have it very fairly priced, minus 105 or minus 110. If you look on the season, he's got a 59% hit rate on rebounds. Last 20, 60%. Last 10, 50%. Last 5, he's not done well. He's only got it in 1 game. Trust me, I get it. I understand. That said, tonight, he's versus a Grizzlies team who is awful versus rebounds. They just give up rebounds versus small forward. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Kevin Durant saw them twice, got 10 each time. This is the one. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple months ago, I bet a parlay. It was Kevin Durant and somebody else's rebounds, and we hit it. It was pretty big on the odds. It was one of these 2 games versus the Grizzlies. But yeah, he just has a great history of getting a lot of boards versus the Grizzlies. Every time he sees them, he's in there getting boards. So I think 6 is too low. Kevin Durant likes to grab boards anyways. I know recently he hasn't been much and he's been kind of injured, but I think tonight versus a team where he has a history of getting boards versus, I think he does what he's been doing versus them and just gets them damn boards. So he's hit it more than he hasn't, and head-to-head he's done great versus him. I like to play a lot. Kevin Durant over 5.5 boards. Next, Devin Booker under 28.5 points. A lot of you guys might not want to play this. Trust me, I get it. That said, guys, he's seen them twice recently. He got 24 points and 16 points. On the season, on the under, he's at 60%. Last 20, 45, last 10, 50, last 5, 40. So he's been going over. I get it. But that said, guys, the Grizzlies are a team that locks Booker up. He just doesn't do good versus them recently. 24 and 16. And he's got a 60% hit rate to the under anyway. So the Grizzlies are really good at locking up the guard, and especially someone who's soft like Devin Booker. He just ain't good versus these physically aggressive teams who are faster and stronger. He just doesn't do well in these situations. I like fading him versus tough teams who are quicker, bigger, and have better defense. I just don't think he does good versus very physical teams like the Grizzlies. I think they shut him down. His last 2 games have showed us that. Give me his under 28.5. And lastly, guys, I'm on Desmond Bane over 25.5 points and rebounds. No reason not to take it, guys. Versus the Suns. Now, on the season, on the over, 46%. But last 20, 70%. Last 10, 70%. Last 5, 80%. He's in the mix. He's getting the ball out there, incorporating him a lot. Suns are very bad at points and rebounds allowed to the guard. And head-to-head, guys, the last 2 he saw them, which were the last 1 he saw them, I should say, he got 36. He went fucking nuts. And 3 out of 4 times recently anyways, but this season specifically, he got 36 the last time he saw them. He went crazy. Again, they're too fast and too strong for the Suns. Now, KD being in, can the Suns keep the game close? Probably. I think it's a competitive game? Sure, but I think it's very fought out and scrappy. I think the Grizzlies come away with it. They are favored by 4 points. I think that makes sense. But yeah, give me Desmond Bane over 25.5 points and rebounds. I like to spot a lot. Okay, guys, let's get into the slate, talk about each game. I'll show you guys kind of what I'm thinking. So first game of the day, we got the 76ers and the Raptors. I like the 76ers team total over 116.5. Guys, like I talked about earlier, this Raptors starting lineup is just brutal. But if you look at the 76ers starting lineup, they did lose Joel Embiid, so he's going to be out. Shocker. You know, he's always injured. But they still have Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre Jr., Paul George, Justin Edwards, and most of their bench is healthy as well. And the Raptors defense is not good. So I'm quite sure that the 76ers come out and can score easily over 116.5, even without Joel. They played without him most of the season, but I think these other guys step up and hoop just fine without him. The Raptors can't stop anybody. On the flip end of that, the Raptors, you think, well, the 76ers can't stop anybody either. I completely agree, but RJ Barrett out, Brandon Ingram out, Jacob Patel out. They have Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickie. Grady Dick is day-to-day, so he'll probably play. If he does, he may be limited, but he'll be the starting guard. It's just such an ugly starting lineup for them. A lot of their bench is injured too. So I don't know how they score points tonight. I mean, the 76ers defense is not great, but I'd be nervous taking anything with the Raptors. I got to lean the 76ers team total. I just think it makes sense. It's low. It's 116.5 is very low versus a god-awful defense like the Raptors. And the 76ers offense has been really good lately. So 116, this is like a gift. I'm all over this. My favorite side of the night. So like on a straight play, not a prop, but on one of these straights, favorite play. Over 116.5 for the 76ers. It's too low. Knicks and the Pacers, I had to fade it. We don't know if OG Anunoby's in or out. With him in, they're a different team. They play defense so much better. I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning is, but the Knicks without him are so bad, and the Knicks with him are so good. Sometimes that one player makes all the difference, even though he's not like a superstar. He's not Cat out there. He's not Jalen Brunson, but man, he makes a huge fucking difference. That said, the Pacers are at home, and we know what the Pacers do at home. The Knicks beat the Pacers once this year at Knicks Stadium. The Pacers beat the Knicks once this year at the Pacers Stadium. I can't call it. It's got to be a fade for me. Don't fall into a trap and just blindly bet the Knicks here. I'd be careful. Pistons and the Bulls, guys. This one I thought about for a while. There is no world where I don't take the Pistons when I really got back to just common sense. Pistons are on fire. They're playing great ball. The Bulls have absolutely no defense in the world. The Pistons right now have been one of the best teams and most profitable teams to bet in the league. The Bulls have been terrible. Pistons are up to 27-26 on the season. The Bulls are 22-31. I can't think of any reason not to back the Pistons tonight, guys. Like, no reason in the world. Also, Lonzo Ball is out, and Ayo Dosunmu is day-to-day, so he might be limited. Lonzo Ball is out, which means they're losing their starting guard and one of their better players. I think Kobe White has a good game versus the Pistons. That's fine. But they still got two injuries on there, and the Pistons are completely healthy. From first string to fourth string, completely healthy. Not an injury in sight. And on top of that, with how good they've been playing, Jalen Durant's been great. Tobias Harris been solid. Tim Hardaway, Kate Cunningham's continuing the ball. I don't see any way the Bulls can beat them. Maybe I regret this. Maybe, sides have been tough. But, man, give me the Pistons -4.5. And then lastly, guys, the Grizzlies and the Suns. How can you not be on the under? This under is at 244.5. Hear me out. Both these teams can score, sure, but the Grizzlies defense is all right. I don't think the Suns D is great, but the Grizzlies shoot a lot from the perimeter. And what if they're a little bit cold? What if they're not shooting that great tonight? I mean, they'd have to shoot. These teams would have to be on fucking fire on both sides of the ball to cover a 244.5 spread, guys. That's a ton of points. That's more than 30 a quarter from each team. Like that. It's just so many points. I don't know how you could possibly back this. On top of that, Devin Booker has a history of doing very bad versus the Grizzlies. The Suns players don't do too good versus them. The Grizzlies miss quite a bit of shots. They shoot a lot. I think the Suns can defend them on the perimeter well. I think there's a lot of boards for KD not converted. I think we see long stretches of time with no points. 244.5 is just too damn high. I'm on the under 244.5, happily and comfortably, one of my favorite plays. All right, guys, final plays of the day. What all am I on? Here they are. On the Raptors and 76ers, we got the 76ers team total over 116.5. Grady Dick under 19.5 PRA. Scotty Barnes under 35.5 PRA. Pistons and the Bulls. Pistons by 5. Malik Beasley over 16.5 points. Jalen Durant over 27.5 PRA. And lastly, Grizzlies and the Suns. I'm on the under 244.5. Kevin Durant over 5.5 boards. Devin Booker under 28.5 points. And Desmond Bane over 25.5 points and rebounds. That's everything, guys. Let's get out of here. Let's get a bag tonight. And let's crack these folks.